Join me as I try to reconnect with my long-lost brother after 40 years. This is going to be an emotional roller coaster. I've thought about this moment for what feels like an eternity, and I'm not even sure where to begin. My brother and I were separated when we were just kids, and life took us down very different paths. I've been searching for him for years, but it's been tough. There are so many obstacles when you're trying to track someone down after decades. Lack of information, outdated records, and the emotional toll it takes on you are just a few of the challenges I faced. I had to dig through old family documents, talk to distant relatives, and even try to find old friends who might have known him. It was like trying to find a needle in a haystack, but I was determined to make it happen. The more I searched, the more I realized just how little I actually knew about my brother's life. I didn't know where he lived, what he did for a living, or even if he was still alive. It was a daunting task, but I couldn't give up. I had to know what had happened to him. I spent countless hours scouring the internet, talking to people who might have known him, and following up on any lead, no matter how small. I remember the feeling of desperation that started to creep in as the years went by, and I still hadn't found him. It was like I was hitting a brick wall at every turn, and I started to lose hope. But something inside me kept pushing me to keep going, to keep searching, no matter what. I think it was the thought of what could have been, of what we could have had as brothers, that kept me going. As I continued my search, I started to uncover little bits and pieces of information about my brother's life. I found an old address, a phone number, and even a few photos of him as an adult. It was like putting together a puzzle, and each new piece I found gave me a little more hope. I started to feel like I was getting close, like I was finally on the right track. The steps I took in my search were often frustrating and slow, but I learned to be patient and persistent. I had to trust that eventually I would find him, and that thought alone kept me going. I encountered many obstacles, from uncooperative relatives to dead-end leads, but I always found a way to push through. Finally, the day arrived when I would meet my brother for the first time in 40 years. I was nervous, excited, and terrified all at once. I didn't know what to expect or how he would react to seeing me after all this time. As I walked up to his door and knocked, my heart was racing with anticipation. When he opened the door and saw me standing there, the look on his face was unforgettable. It was a mix of shock, surprise, and confusion, all rolled into one. We just stood there for a moment, staring at each other, trying to process what was happening. Then, suddenly, we were hugging, and tears of joy were streaming down our faces. The emotions that flooded through me in that moment were overwhelming. I felt a sense of relief, of joy, and of wonder all at once. It was like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders, and I could finally breathe again. We spent hours talking, catching up on lost time, and reminiscing about our childhood. As we sat there, talking and laughing together, I realized just how much we had missed out on. We had missed out on so many years, so many memories, and so many moments that we could never get back. But even with all that we had missed, we still had each other, and that's all that mattered. This reunion has been a game changer for our family, and it's brought us all closer together. It's reminded us of the importance of family and of never giving up on the people we love. Thanks for watching. If you've got a story about a family reunion or a long-lost relative, share it with me in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more personal stories.